fantastic, because there's really not an outlook for Mac. They have a thing called Entourage. It's just horrible.
Okay.
What are you using for a remote support platform when you do need to remote into somebody? What are you using?
That's a great question, because that has changed a lot of the how I do business, because no longer do I have to drive out to every customer's location to fix something.
Right.
I use a piece of software I bought for a couple $100. It's called Dual Desk, made by a company called Advantage or something like that. And it runs on my PC here, and on my website. If you notice on the bottom of my website or at the top, there's a link that says download the remote software.
Right.
And it's about a 300 or 400K download. It's quite small. They run it, get past the Windows I don't know who you are publisher errors,
Right.
and then it calls my computer, bypasses their firewall, and lets me connect into them. It's got the same workings as Go to My PC or any of those that do that. It's just on a whole lot easier basis.
I'm just now working with TeamViewer, which is basically a European company, and kind of similar in the way that I guess it works compared to what you've got. And I think that's ultimately how we're going to go, is with TeamViewer. Matter of fact, I guess, as I said, GFI bought Hound Dog is Easy. They rebranded it as GFI Max, MAX, and basically that's a monitoring tool for somebody doing managed services, right? It installs a small agent on servers, workstations, all this sort of thing. Sets up a dashboard. You get the idea. But it doesn't really have a remote platform to really offer the remote support. So they're going to go ahead and bake in TeamViewer as part of it. Excuse me, you're messing with his mic. But it seems to work pretty doggone well. You know what? I think we're gonna. First off, thank you so much for letting us do this test, and I think it works great. We figured out the audio problem in Wirecast. The reason they didn't hear us.
Does my video look a little bit blurry? I see it a little bit there.
I'm not really here. Hang on. Let me take a look here and see how it's looking on my screen. I'm going to go ahead and.
Sometimes life is very blurry for me, but I just didn't want to.
I'll take a look here and see. Yeah, it's a little, maybe just like slightly out of focus. I don't. Everything looks good on, but can't really tell whether it's a problem on our. I'm going to probably guess it'd be something on our end, but I'm not sure what it would be. But I mean, you're still visible. It's still not bad.
Okay. This is a Logitech Pro 9000, so I'm not sure if there's a whole lot of other webcams out there that are above this one.
Nope, you got the best. You got the best. I've got one of those, and they work. You're not going to do any better on a webcam. Not that I know of. The next step up is getting a camcorder and then using it via USB.
I was going to suggest that maybe sometime we look at doing a show at using video such as this or other stuff as marketing tools. I think that's one of the areas that I'm getting more and more interest in all the time.
It's funny you mentioned that. There's a magazine called Business Solutions Magazine, and I was on the July cover and a featured person in the magazine. And I got the attention from these folks because of a video I did on YouTube about the configure worm, and they said, you know, we really like we seen this, and then we watched a couple of your other videos and seen how they pointed towards your website. Then we went to your website, and then we looked at all the stuff you did, and we really like what you're doing, this whole new media. What's your advertising budget? And I said, I don't have an advertising budget per se. My time, a little bit of equipment and a lot of time, that's my advertising budget. And we got to talking about things like the bounce rate on our website. When we relied on the more traditional way of advertising, we had about an 80% bounce rate. We did the Google AdWords thing. This was before, of course, I talked to Steve Hampton, big local. But we did the Google AdWords thing, and we've tried Yahoo advertising, and we've tried email campaigns and all this other stuff. We had a bounce rate of about 80+%.
Okay.
Well, since about a year ago, I stumbled, a little over a year ago, about a year and a half ago, I stumbled across a young man. I'm sure you know who I'm talking about, Chris Briddle.
Sure.
And for 3 months, I did nothing but just observe. And I observed his chat room, and I observed what he does, and I clicked all of his links, and kind of did an analysis of what he's doing. And I said, okay, I'm not going to try to copy Chris Briddle. I don't want to do that. But I do like some of what he's doing. How can I take the best parts and suit them to my needs? And I started by doing YouTube videos and posting them on a regular basis with links back to my website. And within about a year, actually less than a year, our bounce rate went from the 80 percentile range to about 50. That's a huge, huge, huge difference. Plus, we got a lot more organic traffic. Because YouTube is actually probably the second largest search engine out there. And we started getting all this traffic coming to our website based on people clicking through the links on YouTube, and then they would see what we do and that kind of thing. And then it's almost like a chair. The third leg of the chair is doing this. Getting on Ustream. But like I said, I don't want to emulate Chris Briddle. That's not what I'm trying to do. Hopefully we're offering something of real substantial value here to people. And I said, okay, there's a lot of shows doing tech. Ustream's got a bunch, and Justin's got people and all this sort of thing. But I said, what's missing out there, in my opinion, is business technology. You don't hear a lot of Perillos and other people talking about dynamic CRM. You don't hear them talking about SQL Server or Exchange and all this kind of stuff. You don't really hear that. You hear more about graphics cards and the hottest gaming rig and Xboxes and all that. That's kind of the chatter you hear on those shows.